With this disguise, I find myself able to be the bridge builder between the old and the new. Yeah, so I find that my role is to try to connect the past, the goodness of the past and the goodness of the future. My topic is economy, youth and unity. I'm going to focus more on area of eradication of poverty. Yeah. So some background. If you can't read there, I'll read out for you. Now, poverty and national unity. Yeah? Government leaders assume that national unity cannot be achieved if a large segment of population remain poor. Yeah? Number two, poverty is perceived, is the word perceived there, interpreted and even promoted in ethnic perspective. Yeah? As the majority of the poor are the Malays and Bumiputra, and affluents are the non-Bumis, historically, it's easily assumed ethnic flavor. So what's happening is because last time a certain segment of society are richer than the other society, and so happened that the richer ones are belonging to the non-Bumis and the poorer to the Bumis, so it easily assumed ethnic flavor. This makes political manipulation an easy option for power seekers. This is the one that Dr. Chandra was saying are the ethnic heroes. Yeah, everybody trying to be the heroes of the Malays, the Chinese, the Indians, the Dayas, you know that, rather the heroes of Malaysian, for example, or heroes of humanity, like Gandhi. Yeah? So this happened, and it's easily used because it's so happened that the demarcation like that, so we can use it for, power seekers can use it to get what you call support. And as such, any effort to eradicate poverty is good for national unity. If you can eradicate poverty, it's good for national unity. Now, when you think about poverty, be careful, as Dr. Chandra said, it used to be between have-nots and haves. Now it have a little and have a lot. Times have changed. Yeah? Now it is best if these efforts is viewed not from ethnic perspective. We want a non-ethnic alternative. Yeah? I quote new economic model. If you Google now, guys, just put new economic model. A lot of things to read there. Yeah, you can read that. It's from the part 1, Sanjay Policy and Direction. Ethnically divided societies are more prone to violent conflicts. The multiracial composition of Malaysian population is still its outstanding feature, and this ethnic diversity will always be with us. But the excessive focus on ethnicity-based distribution of resources has contributed to growing separateness and dissension. This is what Dr. Chandra was saying earlier, the negative side of NEP, for example. Yeah? Now, to make my economic presentation look a bit better or more cool, I have to show some data. Yeah? Yeah. So, if you can't see, I'll read it out for you. We need to know some data here. This is the Malaysia's historical growth trends. You can't see, never mind. We're doing not bad, since our Merdeka until today, there are a few really down there. You can see 85 and 97, and maybe the second one is a W there. It's got the economists call it the W dip. It's called a double dip. Yeah. But other than that, we're doing fine. Yeah, we did really good. Most of the time, we grow more by 5%. That's the reason now, during my time, I run around without slippers, and every time I kena pagu payung, I had to go and see doctors and get injection. And you guys have your Crocs, and you have your children now, even children have Crocs. We have done really well. And how many of you here do not have a handphone? You see, all you have handphones. We're so rich. When we were young last time, if you want to have a handphone, you have to go and beratur and put 10 cents inside. So we are very rich now compared to our time, especially in the Dr. Chandra's time, even worse. We are doing fine. Sorry, Dr. Chandra. Dr. Chandra is above 60, I'm in 40s, yeah. We just nice here, and this is our youngest one. Yeah. So we actually have done really fine. We've done really well. Yeah, the last 50, 60 years. We are called the East Asian miracle, as compared to Latin America, and compared to Eastern Europe, and of course Africa. We've done really well. Yeah. Now you look here, the incidence of poverty in Malaysia has declined over time. If you look carefully, it's declined like crazy, mate. Since 1970, for example, 1950s, right now we have about 3.6%. I'll show you. We have done really well. Yeah. In other words, whatever we have done, whether you call it NEP or whatever, OPP, whatever it is, we have managed to save millions of people from poverty. Millions of people. That means we have done something right. As Dr. Chandra said correctly just now, NEP have done something right. There's something wrong to it, something right. Millions of people now have food on the table, they have clothes to wear. They should be happy about it. I don't know why they're so unhappy. Yeah. Be very careful. Now, but of course, as you see carefully, poverty has declined in all states, but remain, see in some states not so good. You see, Sabah, Sarawak, not so good. Yeah, as compared to the rest. This is where we need to be a little bit more, hey, wait a minute, there's certain pockets here that we're looking to. Now, again, if you look at different, people like to say the Chinese are richer, the Malays are poorer, the Chinese richer, the Indians are poorer, and so on and so forth. You look carefully, income differentials among ethnic groups have decreased. Good news. So now the power seekers, ethnic heroes, can lower down their volume a little bit. Maybe. Yeah. Now, you look carefully here, just quickly, incidence of poverty by ethnicity and strata. You notice from 1970, we got 49.3% people in the poverty line, and 2007, we got 3.6. Isn't that great? I think you should give yourself a clap. Come on, guys. Yeah. And why are we so angry every day? Why are we so pissed off? Be very careful. Let's look at data. Yeah. And you look carefully also, you can see among the Bumiputera, you can see it's really going down. But here, be careful here, after I bring it up, the urban area 2.0%, whereas the rural area still 7.1%. You can see the rural areas still have poverty. Now, Gini coefficient, this is where the problem is. After I'll show you, as Dr. Chanda was saying, the rich Malays are going far ahead, and then we have poor Malays. That's going far. Similar to Chinese and the Indians. You see, everybody has this idea that all Chinese are rich. This is the problem. They don't realize that many Chinese, just like the Malays and the Indians and so on and so forth, are working for others too. Not all of them are millionaires, not all of them are taukas. So you be careful, because the power seekers love to use that. Now, this is another issue. Now, if you look carefully, if you can't see from there, what it means is the bottom 40% of Malaysian still earns less than 1,500 ringgit a month per household. That is a concern. Out of 100 Malaysian family, 40 of them are earning below 1,500. So how many of you here have a handphone that's